So tell us a little bit about your campaign.
Right, well, the Government Reform in Thanet campaign, GRIT, is all about improving the quality of decision making in our local district council, first and foremost. It's about making the council decisions more open, more transparent, and very importantly, more accountable. So we want really to increase decision making with regard to community needs, rather than, as it is at the moment, the needs of various parties. There are 5 basic elements of the campaign, starting with securing a directly elected council leader, and hopefully ending up in a few years' time with Thanet having a unitary authority to represent it, rather than a district council. We also want to bring greater powers to town councils and the villages, and also greater collaboration with community and voluntary groups. And we want to bring into decision making much greater consultation with community and voluntary groups. This doesn't happen at the moment, but it can be arranged, and that is basically the whole of the campaign.
So why do we need an elected council leader?
Well, there are many reasons, but probably the most important of them all is that for communities like ours in Ramsgate, it will bring a much higher priority to that community and a much fairer allocation of resources. Currently, as you know, we have a system where the leader of the council, the most important person in Thanet, is not someone that we choose. It's someone who's chosen for us by political parties after our local elections. Under the new system, we will have a leader of the council who we, the residents of Thanet, can all choose. We all have a vote to choose that particular person. That means that candidate for leader of the council will have to tell us, the electorate, what their priorities and what their vision is for communities like Ramsgate before the election. It means then we can choose that leader on whose vision for Ramsgate in this particular case, on whether it is suitable, what we want. If they then can't deliver it in the next 4 years, or don't attempt to deliver it, we can hold them to account. We know who to hold to account, and we know who not to vote for next. These are powers which are given to us under the Local Government Act of 1993 and 2000, and they're given to us as residents. Not many people realise that as residents we can force these changes, and we can insist on having a system whereby we vote for the council leader that we want, not what the parties want.
So what difference would this make to the area?
Well, this campaign would make an enormous difference to the area of Thanet. It means that residents and leaders of voluntary and community groups would be consulted on a fairly regular basis by law, not by whim, and they would therefore be included in decision making and consulted before decisions are actually made, decisions which are actually applied to communities like Ramsgate. So under its new constitution, Thanet District Council, and ultimately under the unitary authority in a few years' time, Thanet would have control and be masters of its own destiny. We'd no longer be at the mercy of Kent County Council or just purely at the mercy of warring political parties. It would bring also a very important aspect to government, which is continuity. This is essential if we want to attract the right kind of businesses and wealth creators to Thanet. We need to make Thanet the most attractive place to live and work, make it safe and reliable place to live in and work, and in that way the wealth creators will come here rather than other parts of the country.
So Grahame, how do you propose to make these changes?
Well, the start point is to force a local referendum on having a directly elected council leader. We do this through a petition. And once I become elected, I will then finish off collecting signatures for that petition. That's the easy bit. The next bit then is to have the local referendum and actually win it. Having done that, the council is then obliged to deliver to us a system where we are governed by an elected leader of the council. And they will then have to start rewriting the whole of their constitution. That is the main reason I want to become a councillor, so I have a foot inside the camp for when we have to write the new constitution, because part of that constitution, as I see it, will contain some of the checks and balances against the abuses and excesses of power that might arise under certain types of locally elected councillor. What we want to do eventually is create a good example, an exemplar of how to do local government. This will help us when it comes to writing our business case and sending it into Westminster, because that's what we have to do to be given the delegated powers and to be allowed to become a unitary authority. That business case will be greatly strengthened if we ourselves can show that we are governing ourselves very well. I believe all of this can be made possible. We have the powers to do it. We can do some of it as residents, and as residents we need to start to believe in that. We don't need councillors, we don't need political parties. They will exist still, obviously, but they will have to work within a new system, a system that you and I, the average resident, can force into existence.
Okay, so tell us why we should vote for you.
Well, I think of all the candidates in this particular ward, you'll find that I've probably got the greatest experience in local government, and I've certainly got the background in my previous existence in living in Whitstable and working in the Canterbury City Council to gather together all these various ideas that we're putting into this campaign. None of this campaign is new. It's all been done before in different parts of the country. It just needs someone to bring it all together, believe in it, and make it happen. I think I'm that person.